Hello, everyone. You may remember a few years ago, 2016 in the fall to be precise, that I recorded a video alerting people to what I saw as the dangers of a bill C-16 that I regarded as an attempt to make compelled speech mandatory in Canada. Many of you watching this will be familiar with the events that transpired in consequence. Unfortunately, I feel compelled to do something similar today in a variety of different ways in relationship to another bill, a provincial one this time, Bill 67.
Jordan Peterson, former professor at the University of Toronto and clinical psychologist who practices the principle, those who can't do, teach, rose to fame in 2016 for lying about Bill C-16. This is Rebel HQ. I'm Sandee Lovas. What Bill C-16 did was include gender identity and expression as a protected status like religion, sexual orientation, and race. What he claimed it did was make the use of gender pronouns compelled speech and warned people would be locked up for referring to folks as something other than their preferred pronoun. So far, no one has gone to jail for misgendering anyone. There are actual language laws in Canada. Go to Quebec, start a business, and try advertising in English and no French. See how long that lasts. Meh, c'est la vie. So what is Jordan saying about Ontario's Bill 67? Oh, for the Americans, Ontario is next to Toronto.
A warning to citizens of Ontario and Canada. Bill 67, which purports to be nothing but an anti-racist bill, is in fact the most pernicious and dangerous piece of legislation that any Canadian government has attempted to put forward. And I hope I'm not saying that lightly. It will make mandatory the subversion of the entire education system in Ontario, K-12, as well as colleges and universities, to the radically leftist doctrines known as critical theory, a thoroughly anti-Western ideology, both postmodern and Marxist in its derivation, based on the idea that all our extant institutions are racist, sexist, and discriminatory in their essence.
Ah, yes, critical race theory, CRT, or as they say in French, CRT. The hot issue American right-wing media figures love to latch onto and purposely lie about and misinterpret so they can make it fit their narrative of anti-white racism going amok. The best way for them to maintain their relevance is by scaring their audience, who they know will believe what they say and not research the subject further. Why would the audience doubt the people on the news who are constantly telling them they're the victims and that's why their life sucks? Because it can't possibly be from anything like capitalism, legislative poverty, or no health care. But what does Bill 67 do? Have I misjudged the situation and owe Jordan an apology? Kitchener Centre NDP MPP Laura May Lindo's bill on racial equity in the education system received almost unanimous support in a vote at Queen's Park on Thursday. Politicians from all sides, that would include the Conservatives, spoke in favor of the bill when it was debated Wednesday. I'm kind of excited at the possibility that they will follow through on this one, Lindo said. The bill would recognize the existence of systemic racism and discrimination in schools from kindergarten through post-secondary, define terms such as racism, anti-racism, and racial equity, and require educational institutions to create racial equity plans. The bill would also implement expertise in equity at decision-making tables and would include racial equity education through training, resources for students, teachers and staff who have experienced or witnessed racist behavior, and penalties for those engaged in these behaviors. That sounds good. The details of the bill not matching what Jordan claims hasn't stopped his loyal lobster legion, that's a lot of L's, from viciously going after Laura May Lindo, accusing her of being racist because, of course, when a Black woman talks about systemic racism, it really should be about how it affects white people. Really? Lobsters? I can't get over that. Like, seriously, that's the animal that you latch onto. Lobsters. That's your symbol. That's your pride. Come on. Tell you what, let's do a simple test to determine if this bill is needed. Americans, feel free to play along. When did slavery end in Canada? Anyone? We're taught about the Underground Railroad, and according to our heritage moment, Yes, propaganda commercials are a thing in Canada. More than 30,000 slaves escaped to Canada between 1840 to 1860 via the Underground Railroad. So, what do you think was happening before that? In 1834, the British Empire abolished slavery, which included slavery in Canada. But since the British North America Act, the thing that was the beginning of what Canada is today, was signed in 1867, it's conveniently left out of our history books. We were never explicitly told there was no slavery, but we were also never explicitly told there was. But it was before 1867, so does that really count? What did I just say about the Underground Railroad? It also happened before the creation of Canada, and yet we're so proud to have that as part of our history. Funny how that happened. Jordan Peterson is desperately trying to hold on to relevancy, and he's using the same tactic he used before. He doesn't care about the people these lies hurt or his followers. All he wants is to maintain his fame because without it, nobody would care what he has to say. But do you know what? I do owe an apology to all the Americans out there. Sorry, we're not sending you our best. For more on my stuff, look for me on social media as Left of the Box. Don't forget to hit buttons and leave comments. Au revoir, and until next time, get informed, get involved.